Alright guys, it's Wes from Gatwick Games. I am here to introduce the game Dungeon Royale. Okay, here we go. We are now in the process of setting up. Show you here that we've got Dungeon Royale cards, which you will replenish at the end of the turn. The Dungeon Ransack. These guys you draw when you see these little treasure parts on the board. If you land on them, you can do a pickup, which is part of your turn. Those cards can generally be, they can be monsters that will attack you. And then there's some that will just be worth a point, which is gold, or diamonds, which are worth 2 points. And then we've got the hero quests, which everyone draws 3, and then they pick 2. To set up, you also do the teleport doors. You can place those anywhere on the board as long as they have a wall. And they're inside the dungeon. So we're going to put that here and this guy right here, so that when you go through that door, you will come out right here in this space. It's the same movement applies. If you're going to go through this, you're going to move east, and then you're going to land here. If you want to go through it and land over there, you have to go north, and you land over here. So at the start of the game, you are going to get 3 hero cards. You're going to choose a character. I've chosen Sonico, Oxblade. Because he's an awesome knight and he's honorable. Honor is a life for a life. Set up on the character board. Everyone sets their health to 3 right here because everyone starts on level 1. Everyone will get also 3 movement dice. They have north, east, west, south, and stay. And you will secretly choose those locations going left to right behind your board, and then reveal them, and you go that direction all simultaneously with the rest of the players. So you roll the 8-sided die, and you place a key artifact on the number that it shows. So number 7, we are going to take a key, number 7 over here. Each of these platforms where you put the artifacts have a number on them. Then you randomly select from the remaining 13 artifacts and place them at random. And lastly, we'll put the Stone of Life, which is worth 10 points, in the lair with the dragon. The last thing is we're going to put this little token, which is worth 6 points when you kill a dragon, right here on this space. Okay, something about the board. Let's just talk about the board real quick. So you'll have these numbers here on the board. They travel underground. You're tunneling, you go underground, and this has the number 1 on it. So if you travel south, speaking of, there's a compass up here, so it's north, east, west, south, so you know exactly which direction you're going. You will move to the number 3 tunnel location. So the number 3 tunnel location is right here. So if I move south 1, you move to this tunnel location, which is kind of nice, because if I'm right here and I want to get to this guy, you just go south and you end up in this tunnel up here, and then west, west. And that's kind of how movement works. Also, I just want to say that the water, these pits, these guys on the corner are ornamental. These, whenever there's a wall like this, you cannot travel through it. There's one right there, there's one right there, there's one right there, there's one right here. Also, the same thing goes for exiting the board. You have to go through this tunnel and out, and it's 1 move south to get out here, and as soon as you get here, you move over to the game over space. Also, you cannot enter or pass through the lair until somebody unlocks the lair. And once you unlock the lair, then all the doors are open and people can travel through as much as they'd like. But before that, you cannot travel through it. You have to travel around it. We're going to play with Jinxed Danigan. And if I'm looking at my cards and I'm Jinxed, your quest, you have to pick these up and end the game. End the game with the Horn of Silence and the Bow of Hope, and you get 7 victory points. So you have to have both of those at the end. But you may pick them up and then somebody may steal them from you. if I'm looking at his powers, he actually gets the hat of Megelius. He gets to choose this power. So maybe I want that as one of my quests because I'm going to try and pick that up anyway. And then if I have that, I get that power plus this at the end. But when I'm looking at these two, if I get just the Bow of Hope, then it covers 2 of my artifacts. So I'm actually just going to go with that, and I'm going to discard this. So each person gets 5 cards. So an attack is you have to be in this location, and the red spot is where the person is that you're attacking, or the dragon, or whatever it is. And you attack with the attack dice indicated here. In this case, it's a red and a green dice. For example, I'm right here. Jinx is here, and I know he's going for this map, but I kind of want that artifact more than him. And my situation is perfect that I can attack him. So I'm going to use this card to attack. He is, as you can see, 1 space away. So I can roll the green and the red. Ooh, bummer. I got 0. So no damage is done to him that round. That is more rare, but you can see the odds on this attack card. It doesn't matter. I just want to explain. It doesn't matter which direction you attack with. In the case of this card, it just says 1 space away for the bow and arrow. So you're here. It could be that I'm here and he's here, and it still has that same distance. It doesn't matter. He could be here and do that same thing. For stealing, it works the exact same way. This one is 2 spaces away, and it's these 3. So if I'm right here, I could steal from him. When you do a steal, any character will get to roll green dice. If you roll a 0 or nothing, blank, I get to steal from Jinxed. If you roll 1, then that means that Sonico gets to choose 2 of his artifacts that he would like, one of them, and then Jinx gets to decide which one that he steals. And if Jinx rolls a 2, then he blocks the steal and he gets to keep his artifacts. Those kind of explain just the basics. This one is the flying arrows, so it's wall to wall. You attack all of them using this card and using that attack die, which is a very powerful thing. It doesn't happen very often that they're all on the same one. It kind of goes the same way. You get to choose. If they're all right here, you can attack all of them right here. That's basically the rules of the attack cards and steal cards. Okay, now we're going to just quickly describe movement phase. So basically what we're looking at is that you're hiding and everyone simultaneously shows where they're going to be going. So that kind of changes your strategy. You don't really know exactly where everyone's going. So let's say that one of my quests as Sonico is to get the hat of Megelius. The hat of Megelius in this game is right here. Okay, I've selected as my first turn, I'm going to place my player 2 right here. Go east, east, north. Okay, east, east, and then north. We go 1, 2, 3, reveal. So I'm going to go east, east, north, hoping to pick up this hat. Jinx also wanted the hat, so he's going to go east, east, stay. And now you might be wondering who's going to be able to pick that up first. Well, whoever has the first player token, you go first. Each person gets a turn after the movement phase. So unfortunately for Sonico, Jinx gets to go first. So he is going to pick up this on his turn because you get 1 pickup per turn. And he's going to use the flying arrows and he's going to attack all 3 of us. So he's going to roll the black and the blue, and he did 4 damage. So basically I died, and what you do to respawn is you roll that. I got a 5. I'm going to move down here. And I still get to play my turn as Sonico. That basically covers movement. So now we're going to go to how turn actions are played out. You can play an attack card. You can do a steal. There's special attacks. There are extra actions that you can play. And then there are actions. You can play 1 action per turn. So you kind of look at it and you're like, oh, it looks like I can't attack anybody. I don't really want to use this as an extra action yet. I'll maybe use that next turn. And so I'm going to use this action. I'm going to play the days, and that makes, and I'm going to play it on jinxed over here. So as per the rules, it says right here that it randomized the movement. So you roll these. You can roll them one at a time, or you can just read them left to right. So this guy is going to go east, north, south. That's not very good for him because he was really trying to get over here to this artifact. This extra action, you get to play an extra action. You play this before the movement phase, and you can see everyone's movement. Extra actions help you do an extra for that turn. You also can play reaction cards. A dodge, for example. Let's say that I attack jinxed over here. Then the dodge, you avoid damage. If you roll a 0, you fail the dodge. If you roll a 1, you get half the damage. You split. You don't have to take it. And then if you roll 2, you get full dodge. You can play this only one per attack. So I would play this, and let's say that you rolled and did 3 damage, okay? I'm going to roll the green dice, as it says indicated in this corner, and I rolled a 2, so that means that I dodged the whole attack, and that means that I get no damage. Now we're going to go to the ransack cards over here. On your turn, you are allowed to pick up, if there is a gold sign in the corner of that room, pick up one of these. So in this case, it just gives me a free victory point. And you put it down in front of you for all to see, because people can steal that gold from you. Now I will describe in the ransack cards if you draw a mini boss. So this mini boss will attack you with a blue and a red dice. You in turn can defend or attack it back. If you beat him, you get 2 points. So you have 2 choices. You can escape and try and run away from it because you don't think you can win. And as you do, you have to roll a green dice, and it's dodging rules apply. So if you roll a 1, then you get half damage. 2, you don't get any damage of this, you take the full damage. Or you can attack it back. So let's say that I attack back. You can use any attack card regardless of distance. It's just dice versus dice in this case. So his attack is actually more powerful than mine, but he's going to roll, and he did 5. And that's scary because I am going to do this and roll and get 0. But let's say that I got like 3. Okay, I didn't kill him, so my 3 damage decreases my amount. So I only have to take 2 damage on that monster. Okay, so then you move this guy down. If by chance you do beat him, then you get to keep this card. If you lose the way I just did, then you shuffle this back in the ransack stack, and he is still there to attack somebody else in the future. If he kills you, then you need to take a death token, which is -2 points, and you put it over here. And then you do the regular respawn action, and you respawn in a new location. Okay, now we are going to describe the dragon. Okay, so the dragon has 2 sides. One is for the Red Mansion, and one is for the Dungeons of Gorgath. If you look, the dragon doesn't actually move out of his lair very often. He only does, in this case, 1 time, and it is to move into this corner. You have a little map right here, and at the end of every round, after everyone is gone, you roll the dragon dice. So let's say that turn is over, and you roll. Ooh, you rolled a blue. So if you look at this thing, the blue is he's in the lair and he attacks all the squares around him. Boom, 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 which means that Jinxed is in trouble. So what happens is you move this token up 1, and he attacks with a red dice. He did 2 damage on Jinx, and you move and take that damage. You are allowed to use a dodge card if you like, but that is up to you. So the next thing is if the dragon, every time the dragon rolls one of these dice, he moves up in power. If he rolls a blank, and he does not advance along this line. As soon as you kill the dragon, you take this off his attack, and whoever gets the last hit on him gets this 6 points. It does not count as an artifact or a kill to helping you level up. Okay, we are on to leveling up. So what we have is the levels and the level up powers. Each person has different powers for leveling up. So to level up, you must either acquire kill tokens, which are these guys. Whenever you kill another player, it's a little sword, and or you can get artifacts. So when you pick up an artifact and you have it. Once the tasks are completed, you level up and don't decrease your level for the rest of the game. So basically, if I lose this, I still maintain my leveled up status, which I leveled up to level 2, let's say, and I don't have the artifact anymore, I still stay at level 2. Okay, so basically, to level up to level 2, you gather any combination of 3 kills or artifacts. So basically, you need 3 artifacts, or you can get 2 artifacts and a kill, or you can get 1 artifact and 2 kills, or you can get 3 kills. Any combination works, but as soon as you get that, you level up immediately. You move your hit points right there. Even if you are on your deathbed and then you level up, you go boom, 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 boom. Level 3, you have to gather a combination of 5 artifacts. It's kind of the same thing as the one before for leveling up to 2. When you level up, you also gain the powers that are described here. When you level up, you also gain extra attack power. So whenever you attack, you get this special attribute to attack with an extra. Some players have different ones. If you look here, at level 2, you get an extra green attack every time. At level 3, you get red. You do not get both of them. You just level up. So you have a level 2 extra attack, and then you have a level 3 extra attack. Okay, artifacts. So what we have here is a bunch of artifacts. Each artifact is going to give you or somebody else a power to use. Okay, now we are on to phase 2 of the game. So as soon as someone gets leveled up and they level up and they go boom, up to 3, then you enter into phase 2. This means that somebody can exit over here with the Stone of Life. As soon as somebody exits with the Stone of Life, the game is over. Alternately, if no one has hit level 3, but all of the artifacts have been picked up, all the altars are empty, then it also enters into phase 2, and anybody can leave the dungeon. As soon as you hit phase 2, you place the extra artifacts on the board at random using the 8-sided die. So you first placed 8 tokens there in the first phase, which leaves a number of the tokens left over. You have a bunch of these, including a key. So you'll start rolling these. You're like, okay, put that. Which gives you opportunity for some more points before the end of the game. And it may be helping you fulfill your quests that you need to accomplish. If you do not accomplish your quests, by the way, you do not lose those points. Okay, so the Stone of Life. So it's always here in the lair. It's worth 10 points. Okay, the person who owns it at the end of the game, it counts as an artifact. But when you die, so say that I have it over here as Sonico and I'm on my way. Hurry, hurry, get out of the dungeon. Jinx says no, no, no. And he does a boomerang attack on me and kills me. Blah. I don't lose any of my artifacts when I die. No one ever does, except for this one. So I die and I respawn over here, but now the Stone of Life is chilling there. That leaves Cortana opportunity to get over here and pick it up before anybody else. I forgot to mention, if the dragon's still alive and you go to pick up the artifact and the dragon is in the lair then he uses a black dice to attack you. He's protecting it, and he has to use this black dice. Okay, now we're on to exiting the board. If you do not have the stone but you want to end the game, you may leave. You receive 2 points for exiting early and escaping the dragon's fate. Also, something I forgot to mention, as soon as somebody leaves the dungeon, everyone gets their last turn. So that could mean going over here and picking up a ransacked. That could mean attacking somebody and killing somebody. This person is off limits though. You cannot attack that person or steal from them once they leave the dungeon. And that is Dungeon Royale. Alright guys, so that's the quick overview of how to play Dungeon Royale. There's a lot that goes into this. It's a complex board game, but really simple once you get it going. You just move around the board, you attack, you steal, you try and not die, and you steal the Stone of Life, you exit the board, and you count up the points. It's very simple once you get into it. There are a few nuances. Our quality of movie isn't the best, I realize, but please comment, ask more questions. I know you'll have them. And thanks for playing. We so appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.